ahead, Johnny.
Hey, but what can you say about Yonathan and the work he's put in, just both at the plate and in the field over the last couple of weeks?
He's played well. There's no doubt about that. I think, what we've seen offensively has been, quite an uptick from, last year when he got to the big leagues until now. I think, he had a very good offseason as far as, physical conditioning. He came in a little bit stronger. This season, I thought the bat speed, the strength to the swing looked much improved over the previous couple seasons that he was in Major League camp with us. So I say that the strength component is a big part of this, and he's really done a nice job with his approach, using the whole field, putting the ball in play, battling with two strikes. He's been impressive. And then defensively, I think that speaks for itself. He was always heralded as a very good defender in the minor leagues. That has been proven out to us, to the big league staff through our spring training games, our drills, our practices, watching him defend. So we feel really good about that at all three outfield positions. But, I'm really happy for Yonathan, how he's playing. He plays with, a great deal of passion. And I like the fact that he's playing loose. I think last year there might have been a little bit of tension in his game, getting to the big leagues for the first time. I think it showed in his at-bats. But now I think we're seeing a more relaxed, confident, poised player. And I think the talent is showing up.
And just a quick follow-up on injuries. Is there any updates on Matt Adams or Chris Owings?
They're both getting better, especially Chris. Chris is here in Seattle with us. We're making decisions, as we speak. I got to follow up with a couple other meetings as it relates to Chris. But Matt is doing better. He's getting close to swinging. He's almost pain-free with the elbow. And I suspect that he'll be taking some batting practice maybe as early as tomorrow, and if not tomorrow, in Milwaukee. So he's on the mend and doing much better.
Thank you.
Nick Grove, go ahead.
Hey, just to clarify on Chris, is it possible that he's activated even today, or is that too?
Yeah, possible. Yeah, you can tweet that out. It's possible.
I won't tweet it out yet, but
you won't?
Not yet. I'll wait.
Okay. All right. Good.
Some Bud Black guidance on that one.
Yeah, just be patient. I know you don't have to be first all the time. Just show a little patience, Nick.
I can be patient. But speaking of, what about John Gray?
John's doing great. He threw a side today. I witnessed that. He feels good. Again, we're making decisions there on our Milwaukee rotation, but you can be potentially count on John pitching in Milwaukee.
Okay, I can wait on that one too. Back on Yonathan.
Sure.
And this might be looking too far ahead here, but you don't even have to answer necessarily for him and your current situation, but a player at least like him with his defensive skill set. I think he runs a really good route, but he also has a really strong arm. Is he sort of more made for a corner? Is he a right fielder more so than a center fielder long term?
Well, center field is such a premium position, especially in our park, right? I mean, you have to cover a ton of ground. And your arm comes into play, I think, in center as much as it does in right. The right fielder's arm obviously is the long throw, the guy going from first to third on a base hit to right. It's a long throw. But in our park, with the depth that you have to play, and ground ball base hits that get through the infield, that quick runners, try to stretch into a double. You need a good, strong, accurate arm there in center field, because those plays happen, I think, more than the right field arm shows up. So I think because of the spaciousness of our park, I think it's really advantageous to have three really good throwers, because teams, and you, including us, probably us more so than our visiting counterparts, try to take advantage of the spacious stuff of the outfield by advancing extra bases. And you need defenders to try to cut those extra base opportunities down.
And I mean, can you give me your eye test of his center field defense?
I think it's well above average.
Yeah.
I think it's well above, and I agree. We've talked about his routes, his jumps, his instincts, his reads. They're all well above average.
Okay. Thanks, buddy.
Yeah.
Marcel, go ahead.
Hey, Bud, I wonder if you had any conversation with Jordan Sheffield about just the fact that it would have been cool to, be around his brother and perhaps pitch in the same major league game. Any conversations at all?
I have not. I think we talked about it a little bit in spring training about his brother, but nothing as it relates to, this 2-game set. No.
I have not seen his brother pitch, although I know he's pitched against the Rockies last year. Are they similar?
No.
Okay.
Justice is a little bit bigger, a little bit more. I don't want to say physical because he's just a little bit bigger and he's built a little differently than his brother.
The last thing, I know that he threw well against you last year. What do you remember from him?
He threw very well against us. It was him against Marquez on a day game. We had just won 2 in a row. We were coming off a nice, couple wins. We thought, going in, well, like we always do, we felt good about Herman, but I think a kid Lopes hit a big home run against us. But anyway, as it relates to Sheffield, not an overpowering fastball that game, but he located it. He threw a good changeup, had a breaking ball, and we couldn't solve him. He pitched well.
Thank you, buddy.
Yeah.
Mike Singer, go ahead.
Hey, Bud, as Kyle works his way back into form, what are you hoping to see from him today? What are the goals for today's start?
Well, I think if Kyle's getting a lot of ground balls and producing outs, I think that's probably the first sign. If you critically watch every pitch, if you see pitches at the knees and below, that's a good sign. If you see when he tries to elevate the ball, it's usually should be on the inside corner to either the left or right-handed hitters. So that's sort of the things that I'm looking for is the, command of the ball down, and that's all pitches. And that when he does elevate it, he gets it on the corner at the hands or the belt of either the left-handed hitter or right-handed hitter.
Do you sense that he's putting any extra pressure on himself just to get his first win of the year, or is that not the case?
I think so. I think that's natural, right? When you come back, you want to make an immediate contribution. I think the first 2 starts that were on the road, New York, Pittsburgh, I sensed that there's a little bit of, the effort level was a little bit beyond what you need for, to throw a quality game. I think he was trying a little bit too hard. And now, after those 2 starts, which were a little bumpy, I think he's tried to make up for it with great starts, and that hasn't happened. So, again, he just needs, to pitch a solid ball game, to do his part as a starting pitcher to give us a position to win. By that I mean hopefully 6 innings, throw pitches into the 7th. Those are pretty good standards to try to meet. But I do think there's some measure of him trying too hard. Whether it's trying to get the first win or trying to pitch a really good ball game. I think he has added a little bit of that pressure to himself.
Appreciate it. Thank you.
Yes.
Noah Yingling, go ahead.
Hey, Bud, how are you?
I'm well.
So for the injuries, I know you gave out a few of them, but what have you heard about Austin Gomber and Mychal Givens?
Gomber's doing great. He is feeling good today. We spoke moments ago out in the outfield. I think Keith is going to have him start playing catch tomorrow. He's very optimistic and really excited about getting the ball back in his hand and throwing, so he feels good. The MRI came back clean the other day, so that made him exhale a little bit. But he's on the comeback trail. He could be on the same type of track that John Gray was on, a couple bullpens and potentially a minor league rehab assignment, but he's doing very well. Mychal Givens played catch today. is going through his back exercises with the training staff. He's handling those well. He's on the mend. Not sure exactly what we have down on paper as far as the schedule, but I know he's getting closer to, bullpens. He's getting closer to throwing with intensity, and that means he's getting closer to a game. So he's making great progress.
And then I know with Owings, and you haven't announced a lineup yet because of the possible roster move, but
Right.
with the designated hitter today and tomorrow, is your plan, at least tentatively, to kind of mix and match a few guys, or are you thinking of having a set DH for the 2 games?
No, I think we'll mix. Trevor's going to DH tonight. Noah, we talked about that over the weekend. He played 11 or 12 consecutive games coming back. He was off yesterday. The team was off. Trev and I talked on Saturday about this being maybe a day for him to DH. He'll be in there tomorrow at shortstop. But he feels good, so he's going to DH today and tomorrow. We're not quite sure who we're going to DH. Crohn's a big possibility. So that's how that sort of shakes out for these 2 games.
And then lastly, what have you heard about Sam Hilliard and his power recently in Albuquerque?
Better at bats, better quality at bats the last 5 days from the reports. We're talking a lot from our major league hitting coaches down to Pedro Lopez about shortening his swing, making more consistent contact, cutting down the strikeouts, cutting down the effort level on the swing, which can lead to swing and misses. He's got big raw power as it is, so the extra exertion level can get you a little bit out of whack. So shortening the swing, controlling the effort level, and always first and foremost, controlling the strike zone, making sure he's swinging at strikes, taking balls as best he can.
Thank you very much.